Hello, I'm Christina, and welcome to my kitchen. Thanks for stopping by. I really appreciate you being here and following along. Today, I'm preparing one of my go-to entrees, chicken piccata. This recipe is great for a quick weeknight meal or even when entertaining because it makes for a beautiful presentation and it tastes fabulous too. I have my ingredients prepped and ready to go. I'll show you next how to make it. In my first step, I'm taking an old recycled Ziploc baggie and I am going to cut it open. On one side and the bottom side. So I cut it open like a book. And first off, I'm going to put it aside, and next I am going to take my chicken breast, and each piece I am going to cut horizontally, and then place it in the bag and pound it out so that it's about 1/4 of an inch in thickness. Okay, this is about how thick you want it to be. It doesn't have to be exact, but you can do the best you can. Okay, so I'm ready to get started, and the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to add 2 tablespoons of olive oil to my pan and 2 tablespoons of butter. Once the butter's melted, I am going to take my chicken and dredge it into my flour. Just flip it back and forth till it's coated, remove any excess flour, and then take it to the pan. I want to cook it and saute it on about 2 to 3 minutes aside until it's cooked through. All right, that looks like about 2 tablespoons. And my flour is nicely salted. Oh wait, can't forget the butter now. My heat is at a medium. I don't want this to get too hot. I don't want the pan to get too hot. So in a pan this size, I can get 2 or 3 pieces of chicken in the pan each time. So I add oil and butter to the pan as I go through all my chicken. So if it needs more, I add a little bit more. My butter is almost melted. So in the meantime, I'm just prepping my chicken and getting it ready for the pan. Okay, so I do like to move my pan around just to make sure that the oil and the butter are nicely incorporated. And my butter is melted, so here we go. Perfect, I have room for 3. I'm going to turn my heat up to medium. Okay, so I can tell when it's time to turn my pan because I get to see a lot of white developing around my chicken here. And ready to flip it carefully. I do like to leave my heat at a medium or a little under medium. I want it to cook evenly, slowly. You don't want the heat to be too high. And that'll help it cook evenly so that you don't end up with dried out chicken. All right, time to remove the chicken. And in between each layer, I like to put parchment paper down so that it doesn't stick to itself. Okay, so I just removed the last of my chicken and I discarded all the oil and butter that was left. So now we have all this nice brown bits of flavor, and I'm going to deglaze the pan by adding the wine and the chicken stock. And what I want to do is pick up all my brown bits of flavor, and I want to reduce my liquid by half. Keeping the burner at a medium-low setting. Once it's reduced by half, you want to remove it from the heat and then add your lemon juice and capers. And that is your sauce. When I make this dish, I keep the chicken and the sauce separate, and because I like to make extra to have for the week. So I keep the sauce separate, and then when I go to reheat it, I just heat up the sauce and drizzle it over the chicken right before I'm ready to eat. This helps keep your meal at peak flavor and keeps your chicken from getting soggy. So I don't feel any brown bits on the bottom of my pan anymore. So now I'll just let it keep cooking here. Okay, so my sauce is perfect. Next, I am going to strain it really quickly here. And I'm left with this wonderful sauce that I will pour over the chicken when it's time to plate. Okay, and lastly here, I'm going to add my lemon juice and my capers. Stir it just a little bit, and it's ready to pour over my chicken. All right, so I'm ready to plate. 2 pieces is a serving. And next goes this wonderful sauce. And lastly, parsley. Time for dinner. So thank you for joining me today. Please give me a thumbs up, and if you haven't already signed up for my channel, please subscribe today. Don't forget to hit the bell so that you get notifications every time I upload a video. If you make this dish, I'd love to hear about it in the comments below. and feel free to share a photo and let me know how you liked it. Thanks so much for following along today. See you next time.